Okay, so this is another problem where we're talking about the principle of work and energy. So in this problem, we have a platform that's being pushed down with the block as you see there. So the platform has a negligible mass and is tied down so that the 0.4 meter long cords keep a 1 meter long spring compressed 0.6 meters when nothing is on the platform. If a 2 kilogram block is placed on the platform and released from rest after the platform is pushed down 0.1 meters, determine the maximum height the block rises in the air, measure from the ground. So let's see how much these things are measured. Once again, it's a pretty straightforward thing, and we can measure all of this. So let's write down the givens. In this case, the givens that we have, it is the mass of the block. So the mass of the block is 2 kilograms. We have the initial velocity because it starts from rest, so 0 meters per second. We have the stiffness of the spring, as you can see there, 200 newtons per meter. We have that the spring is compressed, so the spring is compressed 0.6 meters. All right, so that they measure 0.5. Remember, this is that the spring measures 1 meter, but it's compressed 0.6, so it measures now 0.4. And then if the platform is pushed further, that amount, or we can say the initial compression was that, and then it's pushed further 0.1 meters, right? We gotta figure out then what is the total amount that it moves off the ground. All right, and you can see you gotta find that h height. So find h. What is the total height? So this is kind of like a projectile problem, and this is a pretty good problem because with this one, just like a projectile, let's say it is indeed a projectile. It's just going straight up. You are able to figure out the velocity that's needed so that it can go, all the way high and make its projectile. So this is really good problems because from this principle, you can figure out the velocity, and then that velocity can be used in the kinematic equations to solve for the range and the height and the time and everything else, right? So this is how we figure out those velocities that are already given in those kind of problems that we already did. All right, so let's do the free body diagram. So as always, so free body diagram. So we have the block, and we gotta see the block in motion. So what is on the air? So the forces that are working on it, it's of course gravity. And the other force that's acting on this is the force of the spring that's pushing this thing up. All right, that's the force. So both forces, are acting here, so they can do some work. All right, so then, as always, the equation here, it's T1 plus the summation of work from state 1 to state 2 is equals to the kinetic energy, all right, at state 2. So if we substitute, we'll get here. Notice we know that because initial velocity, it starts from rest, it's 0. So we can cancel out the kinetic energy at the beginning. You can also see from here that this thing does gain some energy, and it then moves up, so it gets some kinetic energy, and at some point it stops before it goes down. So what will be the velocity at this point, right? Or B2, we can call this B1. What will be the velocity at B2? It will also be 0, right? Right at the apex of your projectile, just before it falls to the ground, at the highest peak, your velocity will also be 0. So it is coming with some velocity out of here, right? It's coming from rest, you push it, and it's gonna cause some velocity here, B1, and then this thing's gonna fly out. But you know, doing this from state 0 to state 2, everything, you know, not, we can of course do it from 0 to 1 and then 1 to 2, but we're doing everything here. That means that all the energy is basically converted between the weight and the energy done by the work done by the spring. So we can then substitute here. So this will be then the work done by the spring. All right, so the work done by the spring is basically like this. This will be minus 1/2 K times S2 squared minus S1 squared minus the work done by the weight, and this will be, you know, equals to 0. So we substitute here, this will be minus 1/2 200 newtons per meter times S2 squared minus S1 squared. So we know the positions that this block is doing. So at the beginning, or you know, at state 2, we know how much this thing was pushed. So at the state 2, once it gets released, right, here's being pushed down. This is, we can say this is how it looks like at state 2. After the thing leaves, the block leaves, this is state 1. So notice that at state 2, the original height that the spring has was 0.6 meters square, minus at state 1, it was compressed and even more, 0.1. So at 0.6, we can say that at state 0, you know, originally, and then it was further compressed. So at 1 is equals to 0.7 meters. So 0.7 meters. Then it was compressed at the beginning. Then it got released. It went back to 0.6 meters at state 2 after the block left, right? The spring is not, it's always been limited to 0.6 meters of like compression that it has. So we have these values right here. And then this is minus the weight. So that is 2 kilograms times 9.81 meters per second square times the change in height, which will be h, minus the 0.3 initial meters that you can see it was already compressed. So we're gonna find the total height right there. And this is equals to 0. So when you plug in and you rearrange all of this information, because of time, I'm not gonna solve all of those values, but hopefully you guys can just straight up find it from here. You should figure out that the height here is equals to 0.963 meters. So this block went up high almost 1 meter after it was released from that spring under those conditions. All right, I'll see you guys in the next video.